We're talking about clarity, alignment, and cash flow. What's up? I am here actually at Chanel's social media domination mansion retreat. This isn't Chanel.
No, I'm not Chanel.
Right.
Not the least. No.
You gotta talk up though, because
not the least bit. No.
That's not Chanel.
By the way.
Who are you?
I am known as Rudy LaRose in the building.
Okay. I just had to get that out of the way so we could do our stuff, because I knew it was gonna happen. Anyway, my name is Donna St. Louis. I'm at Chanel Evans Social Media Domination Mansion Retreat. And it was kind of interesting because Rudy has been witness to me having some coaching conversations this morning with people who weren't doing so well.
Yep.
And people who are crushing it.
Yeah.
And one thing that we talked about was like, what were some of the major differences between people who are not crushing it and people who are? Listen, if you're sitting here going, well, who the hell is she? Why should we listen to her? Why she thinks she got the answers? I'm going to tell you why. Because I am the coach's coach.
Yes.
And that's not even an over-exaggeration. I own that moniker because I am a gifted coach. And y'all be like, oh, she is really egotistical. No, I am very humble. I'm the most humblest of all people. But what you really have to understand is, I actually used to be homeless. I built a $250 million company valued at $250 million. I went on to retire at 39. And then once I retired, I went out in those streets and I'm like, why could I do it? And so many people are struggling. And how do I make them not struggle? How do I help them get past the struggle? And there are very specific things that happen. So one of the things that I did was I took the methodology that I used to build my coaching company. And then I used that same methodology to help people build their company. So I see people are coming in. I want to go ahead and say, hi, what's up, Doug? How are you doing? Doug's on.
Doug's in the
Holly's
building.
on. Chanel's there. Like, we see y'all.
Yep.
We see y'all. Okay.
What's going on, people?
So I'm going to tell you one of the challenges that coaches struggle with. And you heard this morning. So this is what reason I have Rudy on here. Because Rudy was actually, hey, Gloria Torres, that's my mom. Rudy was actually on listening in on a call with me today as I was coaching someone. And I think you were almost a little confused, like, why are they having such...
Yep.
Right? So can you just, disconnect. Without saying the name, can you talk about what they were dealing with?
What I heard was frustration, actually. And I heard frustration because it's one thing, it's like, yeah, I help people. But it's another thing to explain, well, how do you help people? And number one, and number two, I think one of the main points you made too, is that when people come to you and you have to discern what you're helping them with. And if you can't do that, it becomes very convoluted to the point where they might walk away because they told you one thing, but then you brought a different solution to it.
Right. And this was the perfect example of someone who has great intentions, right? However, the moniker expert is thrown around so easily and so many times. And I'm kind of an ass when it comes down to even people going through my program. Like, you can't come through my program and call yourself an expert if you're not really an expert, because we'll ferret it out. And this is the top two things that people struggle with. Top two things when they think they're an expert, they want to help people, they want to be a coach, they want to create this lifestyle business, they want to do all of those things. But the two things they're struggling with is not good intentions and it's not a good heart.
Right.
They're struggling with clarity and alignment.
Yep.
And I can tell because I'll say, so what do you do? What does that sound like when somebody don't know what they do?
Yeah, it sounds like they struggle through it.
They struggle just answering that question. So even this morning when we're talking to this lady, I'm like, let's talk about what you do. And let's be, and here's the thing. And I'm just going to say it clearly. And this has happened. Many people can get on the phone and bullshit their way through a solution.
Right.
And then get mad when the client starts asking detailed questions. And the reason they're mad is
because they don't have clarity.
They're not even 100% clear on what they do.
And people feel that too.
Oh my
God. I felt the fact that even the fact that she could help me, but I felt the lack of clarity in her.
No clarity.
And it would have made me walk away. Like,
conversely,
right.
Let's talk about Chanel.
Right.
Now we're at her social media domination mansion tree. She just went through my last program. Conversely, Chanel is crystal clear on this is what I do, this is what I don't do. Social media, 6 months of social media domination in 6 days through our 6-week program. Boom. And we sat down and talked about, so what does that look like? And was able to break it down. Did she come to me having it laid out exactly that way? No, we worked through that.
Right.
But she is an expert.
Right.
So clarity and alignment. If you don't have clarity and alignment, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And most people struggle with how to get
clarity and alignment.
There is the problem.
And sometimes they don't even realize they don't have it until they get challenged in that. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, I got to do all this work. You got to establish your clarity and alignment.
What was the first thing? One of the things I said to her today was, you got to do the homework.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do the homework. You're asking people for thousands of dollars, and you expect them to do the work, but you won't do the work.
Right.
And I tell you right now, that Fyrebrand moniker, they do not get that stamp
without doing the homework.
You know.
Yep.
You know I'm saying about that. I take my brand very, very seriously. We have people that come to us that are legitimate experts. And if anybody's out there goes, listen, Donna's my coach. And I went through the Fyrebrand program. And literally they would have to say, I went through the program. I went through the mansion. I've done the focus, the finance, the function. I've done that work. If they say that, then I can all but guarantee they're going to crush it, whatever you're struggling with, because they really are doing a good job. But what happens is too many times, first of all, I can tell you a fake coach is a coach that don't have a coach.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, how you going to say you believe in coaching and you ain't even got a coach?
Right.
That's start with that. I got 3.
Right.
Takes a tribe to get this here. Takes a multitude of people. I got a mindset coach. I got a business coach. I got 2 different business coaches, right? You need to have and I don't mean just any coach. My business coaches are light years ahead of me, They challenge everything I say. They're constantly making me up my game, constantly, right? So my sales coach is constantly making me up my game, and I am one of the top sales coaches in the world. I have a coach, right? Like, I compete against the Grant Cardones of the world. I am one of the top female sales coaches in the world, and I have a coach.
Yeah.
I have a coach, right? And people think Tony Robbins don't have a coach when they talk about him. Yeah, he has a coach, right? Absolutely. And so that's my sales coach. I have a business coach. Here, I built a very successful business. I have a business coach. And then I have a mindset coach. And we all know when it comes down to mindset, that's my jam. Like, I could write Think and Grow Rich in my sleep. I could do Outwitting the Devil just on a Wednesday, right? But I still have mindset coaches to make me get things to the next level. Why? Because I recognize that it's only my ego that would not allow me to have a coach. It's
funny you say that, because I was thinking the other day, somebody like Steph Curry. Sorry, I got to talk loud. I'm used to talking loud.
I don't know. You like
somebody like Steph Curry.
Like, you was like this all in the corner, like scared. I'm like, I thought Rudy Rose was in the building.
All right. Somebody like Steph Curry, right? I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about all the things that he's been able to do, and I was thinking to myself, the first time he won a championship, he wasn't like, okay, I won a championship now. I don't need a coach.
I don't need a coach no more.
Right. Like, no.
Like Tiger Woods, like, bud, you know how much money I made just off of American Express advertisement? I don't need no coach.
Right. It's like,
the greatest of the greats recognize that they don't just need a coach. They don't just need a coach. Steph Curry has a fitness coach. He has a nutritional coach. He has his main basketball coach. Then he has he has a multitude of coaches. So here's the thing. So some people always ask me, they're like, well, Donna, I get that, But how do I recognize whether or not a coach is a good coach? Like, because it's hard to tell, right? I'm going to tell you right now, for me, all of my coaches have a methodology.
That's good.
All of them have a methodology. And I can sit down and ask them, I'm like, so tell me about your phases, your knowledge areas, and your deliverables of your methodology. And they know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. And when people want to come into my program and they're like, no, I'm an expert. I'm like, okay, I believe you're an expert. So let's talk about your methodology. What's your knowledge area? What are your phases? What are your deliverables? And then they kind of get those globes. And I'm like, it doesn't mean that you're not an expert, but you do need to, before you go out in these streets and start coaching people, you really do need to have clarity and alignment through your methodology.
Right.
And here's why your methodology is so important. You ready?
That's the next question.
Go ahead, ask me.
Why is methodology so important, Donna? Why do you drive that so much?
Because there are several things in it. Number one, the money is in your methodology. If you want to be a wealthy coach, if you want financial freedom from corporate colonization, if you really want to have a high profit business, you have to have a solid methodology, because that is where the money is.
That's the engine.
That's the engine. That's when people talk about, I need a strategy, then I already know you don't have a methodology. Because every strategic decision you make is in your methodology. So I'll use the Fyrebrand one. So the Fyrebrand one actually has 12 points, but the part that I focus on, and I'm going to tell you what the 6 points are, and then I'm going to tell you what I do, and then you'll understand how my methodology drives what I do. So listen to them. So we have expertise. You got to know your expertise is going to be your methodology, what you really are passionate about doing, what you want to eradicate from the planet, the experience, everything you bring to the table. We start right there and we create a methodology, which is going to help people go step by step through yourself. So that's your expertise.
Okay.
Expertise, ideal client, how you deliver. Top 3. That's your focus area. Then over to money, right? So we're going from focus to money. Marketing, and we really talk about market attraction and lead generation. Then engagement, how you engage with people. And then sales, how you make money. So when people talk to me and they ask me what they do, if you remember, the first thing I said was expertise. And the last thing I said was sales. So I teach people how to turn their high value expertise into a high profit business. Even my methodology determines my value proposition. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
My methodology determines my value proposition.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when I ask people what they do, when they have to take 10 minutes to tell me, I'm like,
you need a methodology.
You ain't got a methodology. I already know. I'm like, you know, that methodology, right? Or I could say focus in finance, right? I help entrepreneurs focus on what's most important so they can increase their finances. Because that's my methodology. So anybody walks up to me and say, what do you do? All I got to do is think in terms of my methodology. So when I'm talking to someone and they're like, well, and then they go on and on and on for an hour, first thing it tells me is, you don't have a methodology.
Yeah. And I also see what I saw today on the call. I also see how when you do have that foundation, when you have to tweak and change things, it makes it so much easier because you know where you have to go to make those changes.
You're so clear about what's broken, right? You're so crystal clear. It's one of the things, well, even in our methodology where we talk less about marketing and we talk about market attraction. But many years ago, we talked about marketing. And I'm like, but we really don't do marketing, because marketing is literally saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. Market attraction, however, says, I want all y'all to look at me, but I want those people right there to call me. Just those. Not all of y'all. All y'all can't get in the club. But you can get in. Right? That's market attraction. Right? And so I've had this methodology now for 26, almost 27 years. And so over this time, we have tweaked it and consistently made it better, because we're constantly questioning our own methodology to make sure that we can serve our clients on a level like nobody else can, right? Let me tell you, one of the best things that Chanel said to me was, the investments that I made into your program paid off before, you know, like the money, before I was even done. Right. You know, she was already getting her return on investment. But that's what we're constantly focused on and driving to. Right. You know?
One of the things you said, I remember vividly, you said that, oh my gosh, I just had it. You said...
I messed you up. Yeah. I messed you up. I did it. Boom.
You said, okay, what did you just said about methodology? You just said something.
That the money's in your methodology, that if you don't have a methodology, you don't know where you're going to focus, you don't know where you're going to put your money, you don't know who your ideal client is. Or
ideal client, that's what it is. Yeah. So you said to me a while back, you said a lot of times people go wild to try to find who belongs in their club.
Right.
But you don't do that.
No.
What do you do?
I treat my business like a private club and not like a public park. Yep. I don't want everybody coming in pissing on my trees. Yep. And what that means is there are 3 things that you have to have in order to work with me. You got to have your shit together, you got to have your coins together, and you got to be willing to take action. And when I'm talking to people, you know, one thing I love about Doug is my, Doug works for Fyrebrand. He is my sales pro, but we don't sell the way people typically sell because we have a very in-demand product, right? Because we're one of the few coaching firms that's actually having a methodology, following a very specific way. We're not, you know, like, listen, bruh, let me tell you, you want to really piss me off? These coaching firms out here talking about they coaching when all they doing is accountability groups on a week-by-week basis. You know what we don't do? Accountability groups. Accountability group, that's for a teenager. Did you clean up your bedroom? Like, for real? Y'all are paying $1,000 for somebody to ask you if you cleaned up your damn bedroom. Did you do your homework this week? You grown up. I should not be asking you to clean up your room. Right. And people, and they call that coaching. That is not coaching. That is babysitting. Yep. We don't do that. You know, we have expectations. We expect you to get to here. And if you can't get to there, that's when you pick up the phone and you call and you get the help you need to get there. Right. We have milestones. We have goals. We work towards those goals and milestones so that way you can consistently grow your business. We don't have, I hate those stupid little accountability groups. Yeah. We go get on the phone every week. So did you do your homework? Did you? What the hell is that? Drives me nuts.
I see that.
Oh my God. Because it's not, and people call that coaching. Yeah. That's not coaching. Yeah. That's not coaching. That's babysitting. Right. People are paying $2,000 a month for a babysitter. That's bullshit. Yeah. That's not coaching. Coaching is I'm listening to first of all, I know your business. Right. And I know where you are in your business. And I specifically have ideas to help you grow your business because money don't make money. Yeah, that's true. What makes money? Ideas. I love that. Ideas make money. Yeah. Listen, I was on y'all may have seen the video. So, and in fact, the opening picture was for this. So I'm out here on this 70-foot yacht, hanging out, right? And the guy's like, listen, you can use the 70-foot one, the 90-foot one, or the 130-foot one. I don't care. You got options. Which one you want to use, right? You need me, and one of the things we started talking about was money. And, you know, I said, yeah, I just think it's funny when people say money makes money. And the guy started laughing. And I'm like, he goes, yeah, poor people think that. Oh, wow. I was like, you're not even going to cover that, are you? Wow. You're not even going to smooth that over. You're just going to be like, yeah, broke motherfuckers think money. Man, I was like, yeah, you know, and we started talking. He goes, no, it is the power of ideas. He goes, that's why it is so valuable for people to be able to sit with you on a yacht for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Because you are an idea generation machine, right? It was the first time that I literally heard somebody worth hundreds of millions of dollars just literally sit there and go, you are an idea generation machine that is so valuable that you can sit here and just us sitting there, he was like, and this, he goes, that idea is worth money and that idea is worth money. Right. And so then he says straight up, he goes, it's my job to execute. And he goes, and the fact that you could coach me on how to execute is an added benefit. Right. But people think that money makes money. Money does not make money. It is ideas that make money. And it is the information and intelligence to execute on that ideas that brings that money to life.
And having a methodology.
And having a methodology to put it all together. And that's where people just get so lost.
And also, Donna, something just dawned on me, correct me if I'm wrong, but having a methodology also allows you to scale.
Oh,
because
God,
if you don't have one, you don't even know how to scale.
You don't know how to scale. So, and here's a good example of that. So people will come to my program and they'll tell me the 8 things they're going to do. And then I'll go, oh, that's cute. And yet you're only going to do 1, right? Because if you say I'm going to do 8 things, right? Or let's make it easy because the math is going to get stupid. So let's say you're like, I'm going to do these 2 things. Okay, great. That means you're going to have 4 ideal clients. You're going to have 8 methods of delivery. You're going to have, you're going to have 64 ways that you have to market.
Wow.
Yeah, it just gets exponentially bigger.
Right.
And that's what people don't understand is that you want to be so crystal clear on the one thing that you do, crush it, and then only change one thing. Because what happens, they make the mistake of saying, oh, now, so I'm doing these 2 things, which are going to have these 2 completely different ideas, which are going to have these 2 completely different delivery methods. No, pick the one thing you're going to do, crush that,
right?
Then come back around and say, now, how do I expand in this one area, and then crush that? So like right now, I'm very clear. I work with experts who are experts. First of all, they're experts, and they're entrepreneurial experts that are either coaching, right? Or they're duplicating themselves. So they're usually doing one or the other, right? So they're coaching people how to reach a goal, or they're duplicating themselves. But at the end of the day, you're coaching, right? People are like, oh, but you could work with, I could work with anybody. Like I could be working with the Pope if I want. That's not what I want to do.
Right.
I am working with a very specific, actually I could work with the Pope because he's an expert. Right. But my point is it's one particular ideal client. So you won't hear me go, oh, I work with people in restaurants.
Right.
Or I work with people who have brick and mortar, or I work with people who are selling the latest and greatest widget, right? I don't do that because now I have to go and extend my expertise, and that's not where I'm at. Right. So you got to be so clear on who you serve, what you do for them, and why you do it. Mm-hmm. And most people don't know that. So when they get stuck, I'll get people all the time, they'll tell me, I want to help people with, and then they'll say, I don't know, like their finances. And then I'll say, okay, great. So now 2 things. For the rest of your known life, for the rest of your life, this is what you're going to help people with. Are you truly passionate about that? And then they're like,
I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's all in me up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like.
So that reminds me of Apple. You start with the iPod.
Right.
Right?
That is such a good example. Seriously. Look at the iPod and compare it to the iPhone.
Yes.
The evolution over time. He's like, we're going to start with this. You're going to touch it.
Yep.
Right? And still today, what we doing?
Right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yep.
But it was he's like, we're going to do this one thing. We're going to do it like nobody's business.
And everybody wants to do all these. Nope.
Just the one thing. And people thought he was batshit crazy. And he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the thing. People say, and people come to me like, yeah, but Walmart. I'm like, oh, you trying to be the low price leader. Okay, I'm not coaching you.
Right.
The other thing that I don't coach, like I'm so clear about, is I'm not coaching people who are looking for the mass. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like if you're like, I'm trying to get 25 million people on my email list and as Facebook friends. Well, good luck with that. I hope you find a coach that can help you do that.
Right.
That's not what I do. What do I coach? What do I coach?
Yeah.
You just
experts.
said experts, specific, and they're looking to do something exclusive.
Right.
They're looking to do something. So if somebody came to me and was like, oh, Donna, I want to do a conference with 10,000 people, I'm sure there's somebody who could help you with that. Right. That's not me.
Right.
And you need to be able to say that so clearly. This is the one thing that, and when you know your methodology, by the way, when you really know your methodology and you have that clarity and alignment, you can say things like this. Here's the first thing. No, I'm crystal clear on who my ideal client is. They are an expert.
Right.
they either have a methodology or they're aware that they desperately need one, but they're definitely an expert. Right. They've already helped people get to goals. And what they're doing is they're like, I'm helping them get to goals and I'm constantly helping them get to goals. I want to be able to do more of that at a higher level, right? That higher level could be more money. It could be less time. It could be a different type of client, right? But they're very clear that I'm already a badass. I'm already crushing it. But how do I shatter this revenue ceiling? And I don't know whether I should be modifying my ideal client. I don't know if I should be modifying my delivery method. I don't know if I should be raising my rates. I'm not sure exactly what I should do. So they're already badasses. Right. They're already experts. They're not coming to me trying to figure out their expertise. They know their expertise. Right. But they're going, I don't know if I have that methodology thing you're talking about, so maybe we should talk about that. And by the way, if you're sitting here going, I don't know if, I think the thing is tilting. I don't know if I have. You're tilting. It looks like, is it me? Anyway, they're going, I don't know if I have that methodology thing you're talking about. Why are you trying to get me on the screen? Right? Oh, sorry. See, you saw that? Y'all saw that, right? That was like sketchy. They're like, I don't know if I have that methodology thing. Go to fyrebrand.net/challenge. It's Fyrebrand, which is FYRE, fyrebrand.net/challenge. So I have this 3-day challenge coming up. Now, if anybody knows anything about me, they know I don't do anything for, what's that F word?
For free. Sorry, I didn't mean to say
I do nothing for free. I don't let my clients do anything for free.
She does not. I assure you.
Watch me lose my shit.
I will
lose my mind.
Did you say the F word?
You did it for what? For free?
She's not.
You did it for free. What?
Get him out of here. I'm like,
you are out of Fyrebrand. I will lose my mind. I'm surprised Chanel ain't up here yelling. She does not let us do anything for free. So my chief marketing officer said, shout out to Ruben, my ass. Ruben does not get a shout out for this. Talking about, but we should do one free challenge. And I'm like, no. He's like, just one. And I'm like, Ruben, you are going against my religious practices at this point. And Ruben is like, we'll do it for free, where people can join the group and they can at least watch the lives, but it's really for people in VIP. And I'm like, so what was so funny is, so I put out this.
Go ahead and say that for it. Go ahead.
It burns. It burns. So I put out this free challenge at fyrebrand.net/challenge, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, it will be the first and the last time that it's free. And my clients reached out to me. It's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you know that it's free? Don't fire Ruben immediately. I was like, it's free. Oh my God. And then even the fact that it's $97, they're like, are you okay? I'm like, I know. I don't do this low money free shit. Y'all know this. But I'm going to do this for Ruben this first and last time. And this is going to be his one and only win because I love Ruben. Yep. Bruh. You know I don't do free.
I don't know how you did it, Ruben.
Oh, God. He got blackmail. So I'm just going to say it. He got blackmail. So I'm doing this free challenge specifically to help people really understand not only what a methodology is, because a lot of people have good intentions. They don't understand what a methodology is, and they don't understand why it's important. So we're doing the challenge to help people understand what are the parts of a methodology, and especially if they're in VIP. So listen, if you don't do VIP and you do free, I really don't care. You're in the group, you're gonna watch the videos, good luck with that. I'm not saying you're not gonna learn anything. I'm saying I'm not investing in you because you're not investing in yourself. So that's just how it is. But for the people who do the VIP, and you see I have no shame about that. Like Rudy's over here going, I can't believe she just said that, but I kind of can.
Oh, no, I do believe it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, why am I going to invest my time, my energy, my efforts, my education, take all this time to explain to them something where clearly is where the money is, right. and they're afraid to risk $97. Bro, I ain't got time for that. I'm risking my time. Right. But for the people who get the VIP portion, and I don't know how to pull back. So to me, when you spend $97 and $9,700 doesn't mean a damn thing to me. Me. Yeah. If you're in, I'm gonna pour. Absolutely. Right. So you will be able to get on with me live before the actual recording session goes on.
I've seen the bills, okay? Getting a live from Donna for $97 for an hour, I can't even begin to tell you how much of a discount. And that's another word she does not use.
I do not do discounts.
Discount, that is. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying.
Discounts.
Go ahead.
The D word.
Yeah, the D word.
Yeah, we don't do the F word. We don't do the D word. Because I value, because I recognize that when I'm coaching people, they're going to go from, I'm not working for this company anymore. I'm struggling in my business. I'm not, or I don't even want to say they're struggling in my business. They're struggling with this barrier that they can't get past. They're already badasses, but they can't get past this one barrier. Right. And I'm like, but I know when you work with me, I'm going to get you to that 6-figure quarter. Right. And then we're going to work towards that 6-figure month. And then we're going to look at that 6-figure week. Right. And I'm going to tell you how to do a 6-figure closing sale. Like my clients, we negotiate through everything. Like one girl I was just talking to, I'm like, listen, let me tell you exactly how to negotiate this contract. Here are your 3 options. The top option is going to be $17.5 a month. The bottom option is going to be $12.5 a month. And this is how we're going to work it. You're probably going to get the 15. And
And you really do that, Donna, because I've seen you. We did a retreat back in October. Mm-hmm. So from October, I met Chanel. We had her event today. From October to now, I've seen Chanel go from one area of her business to now we are here in a mansion in Orlando doing exactly what she said she was going to do.
If Chanel was up here right now and people ask her, actually, can you grab her?
I can.
Okay, grab her real quick. See if she'll come up.
Okay.
And then we'll ask a question. I'm gonna tell them what she's gonna say. Though.
Okay.
If Chanel was coming up, when Chanel comes up here and we ask her, so Chanel, how did you get from I met Donna, I went to her program to I'm actually doing my mansion retreat right now, and I've made my return on I've gotten my return on investment from being in your program and more. And every dollar I make from this moment on is gravy. And they say, well, how did you do it? You know what she's going to say? I followed the assignment. She's literally going to say that. She's every time she's going to be like, and I can't say it now because she's here. Hey, Chanel. Come sit for 1 second. Okay, so I have a little bet as I know what you're going to say. So come over. I want you to get the screen. So.
Hope I say the right thing.
I will say. If you don't, you're in trouble. No. So we started working together back in July of last year, August, somewhere around July. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we started working together back in July. Yeah, because it was a week after 4th of July. Okay. So we started working back together in July. And so from July, and now you're putting on your mansion retreat.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So people will ask Chanel, how did she get from there to here in my program? Like, how did she go from, I didn't know how to do this to we doing a mansion retreat? Mm-hmm. So what did you do?
Listen. Listen. Do what she tells you to do. Watch what she does. Implement. Listen, watch, implement.
And what I told them that you were going to say is, she's going to say, I followed the assignment.
I followed the assignment to a T. And when I didn't understand the assignment, I asked questions.
Right. And that's the other thing that we were talking about. Chanel said today, you said something about my phone number. Mm-hmm. Can you say that? Because I thought that was funny.
No, she literally gave me or gives her clients her personal cell phone number, which I thought was a little strange. But hey, that's the type of access. I text her, and literally if it's something that we need to talk about, she'll pick up the phone and call me immediately so that we can work through some things. So even if it's not working through some things, just to share in my excitement.
Yeah, yes. That part.
Yes.
Because so there is the secret text code that my clients, if they text me it, even if I'm on with another client, I'll be like, okay, can you hold on 1 second? I'm just going to make one really, really, really fast phone call.
Right.
Because I'm like, there's a secret code, and I enjoyed getting the secret code. But we were talking about the other thing is for you is, can we talk just a tiny bit about the value of a methodology?
Yeah, absolutely. It is the basis for your social media content. It's the basis for how you work with your clients. It's the basis for your business and how you're able to just provide results.
Your messages, your
everything.
How when clients come to you, where they are versus where they need to be and what's missing. It helps you fill in the gaps. You're a stronger coach.
Yes,
with
absolutely. And it really does help you understand where your client is and how to get that transformation that you're promising.
Right. And because the more of those transformations that you get your clients, the more clients you're going to get. Like, seriously. And it does, for me, I would tell you, having a methodology for me has consistently made working with my clients easier, but it's also made it easier for me to disqualify people who shouldn't.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you know if you can help them or not.
Right. And you know if they're ready.
Yes.
That's the other thing, because some people will come to you and they will kind of BS their way almost. But because you know your methodology so well, the questions that you ask and get in the door are a lot different.
A lot more precise. And it also helps you attract more people and more clients that you know that you can get that transformation.
Right. Well, and that's the market attraction part of the methodology so Chanel learned, I coach Chanel using my methodology, right? And then Chanel has her own methodology which she uses for her clients. But when she's talking about attracting more clients, part of mine is market attraction. And I'm like, we got to work specifically on how you're attracting your ideal client into your program. Yeah. And it makes a huge difference between who you let in and who you don't. And we're constantly tweaking.
Absolutely.
You constantly tweak. It's not one of those things that is one and done. You constantly test your own methodology to be like, I need you to vet a little better on that one. Right?
Absolutely. It makes all the difference. Let's just say that. It makes all the difference.
So while you're here, I want to talk a little bit about 6 days to get 6 months of social media domination. And it starts with 6 weeks.
Yes.
Right? So you work with Chanel for 6 weeks. And then in that 6 weeks, what are they really discovering how to do?
Oh, that's awesome. So during the 6 weeks, we work through my vibe methodology. We'll work through clients.
Did you hear what she said? Her
vibe methodology. Yes, right. So we look at your overall vision. I look at my clients' overall vision for who they want to work with, what services they offer, but specifically how it relates to how they're showing up on social media. We take a look at their ideal client attraction and make sure that what they're saying they do is actually translated in a way that clients can understand. Then we take a look at their bankable content and what do they have, but what do they need to actually show up consistently. But then the execution part is at the mansion where we bring in photographers, videographers, your content schedule. We learn to do reels and show up on TikTok, but everything that you need to be consistent, engaged in front of your ideal client in less than 6 days. And they'll walk away with the full content plan, but not just the content plan and the strategy, but the assets to be able to show up online. So yes, it's happening this week, and I'm super duper pumped.
And then and since you can't make it to this one, you should try to make it to the next one.
Absolutely,
because the social media domination mansion retreat is badass. And then of course I do a retreat, which is what Chanel went through, as well as many others. And what we do is we take people who are experts who have a 6-week program, because that's what you had. Chanel had a 6-week program, and specifically is like, how do you stop being the best kept secret? And how do you turn your 6-week program into a 6-figure program?
Absolutely.
Right? And that's one of the bigger goals. Like, how do we do that? And think if you can do a 6-week program once a quarter, you're now doing 6 figures once a quarter.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And you had done like 4 sales in like 2 weeks.
Yes.
Like for us, it was like September was sales month. Yeah. And I'm like, listen, y'all, and this is during my program, by the way. Just so we're clear, during my program, we're like, okay, so now y'all need to be selling, because my goal is if you walk in to that house, already have paid for my coaching, which is a big deal. And Chanel did, by the way. Chanel walked in like, hey. She's like, this is paying full. Feed me grapes. And so what we do is we do that pre-launch where we literally sit down and go, who is your ideal client? What is your methodology? What does your pre-launch strategy look like? What does your launch strategy look like? Who are your people? Okay, now let's go out and start marketing.
Go do it.
Let's go do it, right?
Yeah, go do it.
And so we have the pre-launch program, and then we have the launch program. And mine is a little longer. We do 8 weeks, which is a pre-launch, which is getting you from 0 to crushing it. And then we have the launch program, which is actually launching that. That's where we have the same thing. We have the videographer, we have the photographers, that whole media day, you know, and you walk away with everything ready to go. And what I love is at the retreat, we're doing like marketing, we're doing sales, we're doing
revenue
generation, all that other stuff. We're crushing that. He's watching cartoons. All of a sudden.
Testing the audio. It's all good.
You know what he's doing? We're gonna call it that. Okay, he's testing the audio in the theater room. I thought he was just watching cartoons. What cartoon was that, Rudy? Anyway. So honestly, if you are ready, if you feel like you're ready for the social media mansion retreat, and I would say people who are ready for yours generally already have their methodology laid down. They know who their ideal client is, and they're already out on the streets making money. They have validated not only that they think it's a marketing problem, but it actually is a marketing problem. Because sometimes people would say, I think it's a marketing problem. Then Chanel be like, that's not a marketing problem. Why didn't you go talk to Donna first?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
And then people will come to me and I'm like, you good. You really just need to go to, I can't tell you how many people I've said, you now need to go to Chanel's retreat. Like, you can't go from mine. And I'm literally like, you need to go to Chanel's right now. And Chanel is talking to people and be like, why
start here first.
Why you talking to Donna?
Start with Donna.
Because if you start with her, hers is a lot easier.
Yes.
But the point is that there is an opportunity for people to really right now, especially coaches like Chanel who are under the Fyrebrand banner. Because I started this off saying I can be a bit of an asshole as a coach because I have very high expectations. I don't do the accountability. I do expectations. So I expect you to know your focus. I expect you. And if you don't know it, it's not that I don't work.
Yeah, you will work through it.
Right. Like, I expect you to work through it if you don't know it. I expect you to so your vibe, then let's talk about what are those deliverables. Like, I expect the work to be done. I'm not going to sit there and go, did you do your homework? And I'm like, nah, you grown.
Right. Like, and you should want to do it.
Right.
You should want to do it.
You're about to make 6 figures every quarter to start. Right. Right.
You should want to do it.
Right. So seriously, it's one of those things that right now, the one thing that I want to eradicate, and Chanel knows this about me, and all my other coaches know about this about me, is I want to eradicate the bullshit coaches out there. And you've heard me say this,
absolutely.
And nothing angers me more than a coach that's out there coaching and doesn't really have, and I don't mean the ones with good intention. I mean the ones that are bullshitting people. Yeah. And the horror stories that people tell me of, I went to this coach and they didn't have So for me, every coach that comes through Fyrebrand, look, they can't come through Fyrebrand and walk out without a methodology. Like, if somebody went to show me, like, oh, I was under Donna, and I mean, and she's like, oh, what's your methodology? And they'd be like, what? She'd be like, you're not. No. You slept in the house, you didn't sleep.
No.
You didn't.
You hung out.
You hung out. You hung out,
Yeah,
and you
hung
clearly
out.
didn't do your homework, and I bet you can't get back in the group.
Right. Door is closed.
That door is way closed. Because that's so important. So here's the thing. If you're out there and you're like, I'm looking for a coach, whether you need a coach to help you with your therapy practice, whether you're looking for a coach to help you with your social media domination, whether you're looking for a coach to help you with your business, whether you're looking for a coach who is helping you with your emotional intelligence or your leadership, or you need to show up, make sure that your executive presence is showing up like a badass, whether you're looking for a coach who does that, how do we do our annual strategy? Under Fyrebrand, we now have those coaches that are very, very specific to the area of expertise that you're looking for, and they're following a methodology, and they always have me in their back pocket. So you have the social media domination. We have Paulette, who's a therapist who helps people with their therapy practices, who also runs her own mansion retreats. So if you're looking for something like that, you should really be reaching out to Fyrebrand.net. And if we don't have them, we will actually help you vet the coach that you're looking for. So if there's even somebody you're thinking about as a coach, let us know. Because we don't say people we can't help.
Right.
Because that's a waste of my time. That's a waste of your time. And I give people back their money if I can't help them. I don't have time for that. Like, I'm like, listen, I'm not sitting here scrounging talking about, well, I already spent it. No, I didn't. You have it. Trust me. But those are things, and if you're going to start with anything, one of the first things that we started with was your methodology. Mm-hmm. So if you're sitting here going, but I don't know what a methodology is, or I'm struggling to understand methodology, or and it's funny because this morning I told Chanel, I'm like, I really don't do strategy. She's looking at me, she's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, she's like, you might not want to sell it, right? But you do strategy. You do. My point is that when you have that methodology, when you truly have good methodology, you can do all of those
Absolutely.
Things, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a different choice of, well, do I want to or don't I want to?
Right.
So make sure you sign up. If you're like, well, I don't know, Donna, it's a big investment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a business, by the way. What is the deal? And I'm gonna leave that for later, but what is the deal with people going, no, I want to make $1 million a year, but I literally don't want to invest in anything.
That doesn't happen, but okay. Maybe
in
the movies. Maybe in the movies. I don't know.
I think people got sold on that bullshit of people going, well, I built this from my garage in my house.
Perhaps over 10 years.
Right. But what they're missing is one of those people who built something from the garage in their house. The computers were an investment. The time that I spent was the investment. The coaches I had to hire.
The tears you drop at 3 a.m.
The house was an investment.
The house was an investment. The garage was the investment. The fact that my car could be in the garage. I mean, exactly. There were so many things and because I didn't have a coach at that time, it was so much slower until I got one.
That part.
Girl.
Acceleration.
Yes, that's why I made revenue acceleration that coach. Part. Yes. So when people tell me, when people say I don't want to spend the money, I'm like, then you don't want the return on investment, because you gotta actually make an investment to get a return. Like, that's basic. And what we do and what is available to all of our coaches is the ability to get financed. Mm-hmm. Like, you can get your stuff financed with 0% financing. It'll cost you about $500 a month. Mm-hmm. And by the time you get to the point of having to actually pay the interest, you should. Right. If you've done the work, if you've implemented, you'll have that money to pay back. Right. Like that. So anyway, go to Fyrebrand.net challenge if you're sitting there going, but I'm scared. Go to Fyrebrand.net. Go to Fyrebrand.net/challenge and sign up for the challenge. It's only a 3-day challenge. It starts on the 24th. If you're serious, get in VIP.
Yes.
That part.
Anytime VIP is an option, you need to be in VIP.
Yeah, because we're giving stuff we are not giving other people, and that's just the bottom line truth of it. And I don't have I coach at this level or this level or this level.
Yeah, she's gonna give it all.
I'm just gonna coach. Like I don't have a stop, right? And that's number one. And then the last thing, if you're sitting here going, I don't necessarily need a challenge to start working with you.
Oh, but then you just need to
Like, you just need to hit that DM real quick. Right. You need to type a comment and say, girl, just call me. Doug is on here listening, so Doug will be like, I'll call you. Listen, if y'all hear from Doug, know that Doug represents me. So don't be like, who is the creepy? He's not creepy. He is the nicest person in the world.
The sweetest.
I love Doug. So listen, if you're going, but I'm scared of Donna, that's why we have Doug. Because Doug is the exact opposite.
But listen, you have to have a coach that you're almost a little scared of, that's going to push you beyond your comfort zone, that's going to make you do scary stuff so that you can get the business that you want. Period.
Listen, she didn't sleep before she did her mentor.
No, I didn't. But it's all good because I know that she's here with me, walking me through the implementation, and I know what's coming on the other side of it. The women are going to have an amazing experience and be transformed because of it. Because I took that leap of being scared, but listening to the coaching and guidance to accelerate my business.
Right. It's okay to be scared. In fact, that's one of the things I say all the time. I would prefer for you to be scared and go for it than not. Somebody just wrote www. Oh, thanks, Ruben. Hi, Ruben. So I was talking crap about Ruben earlier because I said Ruben is the one who made me do something free, and y'all know I don't do. What is that I don't do?
Free.
And what don't I tell? And what happens when my coaches come to me and say they did something for free?
She gets mad.
I'm like, you did what? What happened? Because we're ready. What were you saying?
Huh?
What were you saying?
I said she freaks out.
I lose my mind.
Yes.
I'm like,
You
why?
What? I'm in the background saying,
don't say that.
Oh, I just said it.
And what's the other word? What's the D word?
Discount.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like,
wow. How many times you gonna get this? Say it
what?
again.
Say
Say one more time.
I will teach you how to do incentives. I'm like, I'm sitting over here. I am the top female sales coach in the damn world. And you did a what? What? Don't tell nobody you know me. Anyway, go to fyrebrand.net/challenge. Sign up for the challenge. Get the VIP option. I'm telling you. Listen, if you talk scandalous about my name because you didn't get the VIP option, I don't give a damn. You didn't even invest in yourself. But I'm serious. Can you be successful without it? Sure. I'm gonna put out some bomb information. It's gonna be great video just like this, but it's not gonna be the VIP. Don't be mad. Be like, she didn't answer my questions. First thing somebody should ask you, did you pay for VIP? No. That's why you didn't get your questions answered. So get the VIP. Anyway, where did Rudy go?
He took off.
I thought you was gonna go and hit the in live buttons for me because I can't actually see them.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh.
she can't see it, guys. But go to Fyrebrand, FYREbrand.net/challenge, right?
Yeah.
And it starts on Monday.
It starts on the 24th.
That's Monday.
It starts on Monday.
On Monday.
At 1 o'clock. Gosh darn it. There you go. Look at all the things we know. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. I think it's at the top somewhere. I don't know. I think you had the live. The X. You got the X. And then you got to do it over there too because we're live in 8 places.
Yeah, we are.
He's going to end stream right there in the middle where it says end stream. I can see that from all the way.
Listen.